Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Yes!
It's our first YouTube video. The year is 2020 and we have been in lockdown. My name is Daniel.
I'm Dennis.
This is little Devin.
And this is little... That's Dean.
I meant to say, this is little Dean.
And this is little Devin.
And we are the Marzoa family. We are from Miami, Florida.
Born and raised. We both have very similar backgrounds. You know, Cuban American.
We've been together for about 5.5 years. And we're basically starting this channel because we want other people to see what it's like to have children, what the struggles are, what the challenges are, what the beauty is. So this is us, and stay tuned. This video is all about us. Basically how Dennis and I met, who we are, where we came from,
our process to having these beautiful babies.
No, that's not what this video is about.
Oh, just kidding.
This video is just about us.
Okay, this video is just about us. Everything else.
So that text message was our first text message 5.5 years ago. I love reading that text message. It's up on our refrigerator because it's such a cute text message.
Yeah, and it's a daily reminder of how cute I was.
How cute you are. We actually met on Tinder. I signed up on a Saturday, we texted on Sunday, and then on Monday, we went on our first date.
I had been there a little bit longer, maybe three to 4 months or so, for chatting with Danny and before going on our date.
On our first date, we went to
Yard House.
Something casual.
But before that, we actually have a couple of friends in common. So he decided to do a little bit of research on me, and he met with them before going on our date to get the scoop
The
on
Suburbies.
who I was.
If you're watching this, thank you for giving me the heads up that he's just a nice guy.
Yes.
For me, when I first saw his picture, and even when I met him in person, I just could tell. I was like, he is a nice guy, right? He just looks like a nice guy, and it was the truth. He is a nice guy.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same. I was very anxious, very nervous. So in his Tinder profile, there was this one particular photo that really caught my eye. It was a photo of him, you know, nudged up against his grandmother. And I'm very close to my mom, my grandmother as well. So I was like, this guy has something special, something that I really would like to get to know. He seemed like a family person, which is something that I look forward to as well.
Which we talked about on our first date. On our first date, I asked him if he saw himself married. I asked him if he saw himself with children, which is crazy that that's us now.
And we both agreed to that. Somewhat of a hit or miss when you're dating. As you know, as gay men, not everybody wants the same things. Not everybody wants family or children. Some people just want to go out and have fun or just travel, and that's okay too. But we were able to find things that we had in common, and that was great for us. And it really worked out in our favor for us to continue this process of dating and get to know each other.
So from that first date, in our heads, I check off certain attributes in a person, right? And Dennis just checked everything off. Actually,
like what?
Oh my goodness. Like tall, dark, and
Tell me,
handsome.
I want to know.
Like a family man, ambitious, dance salsa. He's a very good salsa dancer. Knows how to cook. He knows how to cook, even though I didn't know that then. But ultimately, that first date, when you go on a first date and you're like, wow, that was incredible. I hope everything, just continues to go so well. That's how our first date was.
Well, it started off we were all both very, very nervous. And we were just like staring at each other kind of a little bit awkwardly, like a typical first date. And
we drank a lot.
We started drinking and we ordered appetizer after appetizer, and we did not eat
We didn't have dinner.
We just drank and drank and drank until we just started like rambling. I guess like we let go of all the stress and the anxiety, and we just,
Rambling?
Rambling.
You thought I was rambling?
No, for both of us, we started talking and conversing, and we got into the nitty gritty, and It was a great date. We didn't end up eating, but we sure drank a lot. And then we hung out. There was like a courtyard area outside of the restaurant. We went out there and we just sat on the bench and we spoke for hours.
And that was our last first date.
So for me, when we were dating, he was working a traveling show, and I would see him maybe once or twice here and there. And then
He was a producer in a traveling show.
Yeah, he was a producer in a traveling show, and he would leave like for 5-6 days, maybe even a week or two at some point. And so we would go on a date when he would come back, and then we would leave, and then he would leave again. And I knew that he was the one when I started feeling, I started missing him. So he would come into town and he would leave.
This was very early in the
Yeah, it was fairly early. And then I'm like, man, I really miss this guy. Why? When is he coming back? And we would text when he was away, but it's never the same until they're physically there with you. Yeah, I just started missing more and more and more of him. And I'm like, this is something special, and I really, I want him to be around.
Dennis and I had been dating for 2 years. We already started living together at that point, and obviously our next step was going to be to get engaged. So, being the alpha male that I am,
Really? Okay.
I took the lead. Dennis tends to be a little shy.
Yes.
I tend to be a little extroverted. So therefore, at the time, I was at a show at the Faena Theater where I was the lead singer. And I basically took that opportunity to write a song for him with the help of my dear friend Envy, and basically incorporate it inside the show.
So I got home on our second anniversary, and the first thing I looked for when I get home is the dog. Where's the dog? She didn't come out to the door. So I went all over the house. I ran upstairs, and then I see that he had laid out a 3-piece suit. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's gonna be like a romantic night. Then he left a card. In the card, he said for us to go see him at his show. He said that the dog had been left at his mom's house. We were gonna be staying at a hotel at the beach. So I was like, perfect. Like, what could be better than that on our second anniversary? And
what?
And then what happened?
You tell me.
So then I was so eager. I'm happy to get to the show. So I got ready so fast, and I got dressed. The suit fit perfectly, of course.
Way too fast and got there too early.
I showed up so early, and he was not expecting me to be there that early. Luckily, I'm very gullible. He's like, oh, go get a drink, go to the bar. So he walked me to the bar.
He's a sucker for a good drink.
And I'm like, perfect. I'll just stay here and have a few drinks, wait for the show to start. I thought maybe he could hang out with me for a little bit, but I know that he's always busy practicing, rehearsing. So he didn't join me, but I was texting away. I think I texted my mom and a couple friends, and they were congratulating us and all that. And what else happened?
And then the show started. So behind the scenes, our immediate family was arriving to the theater. That's why when he got there early, it kind of messed with the plans a little bit. So I had to scurry, which just added to the nerves. But our family got there, and I had them on one side of the hotel, and he was on the other side of the hotel. The show starts.
And I had no clue.
Show starts, and it's our typical show. He had seen it 100 times already.
But it did get better each and every time I went to see it.
Aww.
It really did, yeah.
Thank you. In the middle of the show, I basically have a part in the show where I ask if anybody was celebrating anything. And at that point, I let the audience know that it was our anniversary.
Yeah, I was just enjoying the show, relaxed. Every time I went to the show, I sat in a different area of the theater. So I got to enjoy, I think it was the best seat that I've ever had. And I was looking around, and there was nothing different than from any other show that I've been to.
Little did he know that I had a camera crew filming every single angle of the theater.
I did see the cameras, but I was like, I didn't know those
It's
cameras.
very typical to have cameras in the theater because we're constantly doing promotions and things like that.
Yeah, so I had no clue.
So I wrote a song with my dear friend. I brought him up on stage. And at that point, I told him to look up at the balcony, and that's where he saw all of our family holding up signs saying, "Will you marry me?"
Yeah. I think the first person I saw was his sister. She's here. That was crazy. That really surprised me. That was amazing. And then I started looking down the line. I think she was at the end, and I started looking down, and I saw my mom, my dad, my brother. I think your grandma was there. I'm not sure who your parents were there. Your mom was there. That was amazing.
Were you surprised?
I was very surprised. Once he called me onto the stage, then I was like, oh shit, what's happening? I don't know if he was gonna do like a special homage or something to me, but I kind of had a somewhat of an inclination. I did not know about the family that was up above, so that was really, really a special moment.
So that basically started years worth of planning for the wedding. And then right before the wedding, we had
the bachelor party.
The gayest bachelor party that you will ever have in your whole entire life.
Gay.
With rainbow and glitter and sparkles and little.
Oh my! What about the main attraction?
Oh, the ice sculpture.
Yeah. Hello.
Can we even show that on here?
Yes, of course. Maybe blurred. Yeah. So everybody had fun with the ice sculpture. It was like a massive that you would pour a drink at the end, and you just slurp it up at the tip.
Everybody came in rainbow colors, and
I'm not sure if we told people to pick a color or what. Maybe we did.
They were assigned.
Yeah, they were assigned colors. Okay, they were assigned. So there was all kinds of colors. Every color was represented equally.
I'm really glad that we took pictures that night because I don't remember it at all. I drank and drank and drank.
Just a little bit too much.
And I got really wasted.
We rented a penthouse in Fort Lauderdale, and
had a party.
We had everybody over, and we celebrated. We pre-partied. We drank. We danced, and then we went out to a drag show.
Like good gays. So what I learned from the bachelor party was definitely don't drink so much at the wedding so you can remember it.
Yeah, and I learned if he's gonna be drinking a lot, I'm gonna drink a little less so I can watch him.
Which at the wedding, that's not.
Yeah, he didn't learn too much. He forgot it really quickly.
That's not true. I did not drink at the wedding until the end.
Yeah, he was having a great time, so he just forgot about all that.
So at our wedding was a year-long process. We knew we wanted to get married at a vineyard. Obviously, there's not a lot of vineyards here in Miami, and we didn't want to get married in Miami. We wanted a destination, but we wanted something close that our grandmothers can still go to.
Yeah, and immediate family as well. He has a sister that lives in California, so ideally we wanted, that was a perfect location. There's plenty of wineries out there. So he made a trek out there and visited multiple wineries. And he went on tours with his sister, and he dwindled it down to
Ponte Winery in Southern California wine country.
Temecula, California.
It's so beautiful. March 2nd was a very special day for us, so we decided to get married on March 2nd because we met on March 2nd and we got engaged on March 2nd.
And it worked out to be a Friday.
Yes.
So it was a perfect day for a wedding.
It is my pleasure and privilege to pronounce you are married. Husband and husband. You may.
What was your favorite part?
It was honestly just being there, living in the moment, having my whole family there, having his family there in that beautiful landscape. The winery was absolutely gorgeously stunning, and just, being immersed in it all, feeling all the love, something I never ever thought I would, have in my life. So.
Exactly. I think standing at the altar, seeing this handsome man that I was about to marry was a real big dream come true. Something that I had wished for and dreamt of, and it was actually becoming a reality. And you have just always been so good to me. I'm so happy to be your husband.
Me too.
And my other second part of our wedding was having my grandmother there. At our wedding was, a milestone that I would have hoped that she would have gotten to, and she was. Both of our grandmothers were there, so that was.
And we sat them side by side in front of us, and it was a beautiful moment.
So right after our wedding, we went to our honeymoon in Paris.
We flew straight. Actually, we went to London first, so we flew straight from California, from Temecula to London. We stayed there for a few days, and then we went to Paris.
And it was so romantic.
Yeah.
I still think of our honeymoon and I get weak in the knees because it was just that type of romance and magic that you would hope and wish and dream for. And
it was. And
I love you, Paris.
Yes.
We'll be back soon.
We stayed in a gorgeous hotel with a beautiful direct view of the Eiffel Tower. So we would see it glowing every night, and it was absolutely mesmerizing.
And as soon as we got home, we started the process on growing our family.
Yeah, we didn't waste any time. We jumped right into it.
We didn't. It's basically taken us about 2.5 years. And in the process, we have learned so much We have loved seeing YouTube families share their stories, and that's what this channel is all about, is sharing in the good and in the complicated and really
just being completely transparent throughout this entire process so that everybody, you know, we initially had so many questions when we started this process that were unanswered, hard to find. Like there's only so much you can search on the internet and search engines and whatnot, but you know, there weren't answers to all the questions we needed, so we decided to start this process and this journey and just document it all to help other families that are looking for similar or that are going to follow a similar journey to us.
And basically, that's what this channel is all about. It's about our journey on how we became the Marzoa family.